We are right here at Lad Mixed Farm. Still with Mr. Arthur, and today we are these hands of the chilies farm. So, Mr. Arthur, I'm seeing there are some other chilies that are falling down. What makes it fall?
Thank you so much. First of all, I want us to appreciate that this garden is supposed to be a chili garden for green chili. But now it reached a point where some of the chili uh, was overgrowing and started changing color. So it meant that we needed to look for market for the red chili. For you to get the market for the red chili, then you have to leave the garden to also turn it red. But for the red chili, they need it when it is red fresh.
Okay.
So these ones that you see are turning old and falling off. They are those that were red but kind of overripe or getting soft or beginning to wither.
Okay.
For us, when we are looking for the chili, if it is green, we look for the young green chili that is good for the market and we pick it.
Okay.
If it is, and we leave the one which is maybe old and wants to turn, red, that's for the green. And when it comes to the red, we also go looking for the red
Fresh
that
ones.
is actually fresh, tender and very attractive to the eye, and leave these ones which are overgrown. Because if you just pick everything, it's quite tedious to do the sorting. Just separate these two. Remember, you have like 10 bags and you have to take them that very day, so it becomes a challenge. So what we do, you find us concentrating on the fresh red and ignoring this. And this one we leave it to do what? Eventually it will just dry and fall off. It will become manure. For those that have the capacity and you can, harvest and dry it and process, that will be another bit. But for us, we are not looking at that. Ours, we are picking this or this. Remember, the following week, it will also be there. And remember, being a garden of 6 acres, we subdivide it. You find one half we are concentrating on, say, on a Tuesday or Wednesday. On a weekend, we come to the other half. By the time you finish the other week, you have to go back to the other one. So you find for us, you specialize in red and green, but fresh. So whatever is overgrown and does not qualify, from our assessment as we assemble the team, we just tell them which ones to look out for. What does not qualify, just leave it there. And that's why you're seeing a lot of chili that's falling off.
Exactly. And then if you are to see some other chilies, there are some that are red, but you can see they are dark.
Yes.
Some other parts are dark. Is it some kind of an infection?
Yes. That one is either anthracnose or fungal infection. For instance, this is fresh red, tender, but it has this green part.
That green, yeah.
Yes. Now this one, the agronomist will tell you either it is a fungal infection or anthracnose. Anthracnose, I think, is also a type of a fungal infection. But this one, when you put it on the sorting table, they'll remove it. It is green, it is red, it is fresh, but it is not good for the market. Somebody is not going to get this and put it in their food, especially somebody who's buying it expensively abroad out there. And so you find it's a problem. But the other challenge we had a challenge of hailstorm. Now the hailstorm also came and hit the garden so much to the point that it hits and breaks and even creates holes on some of the chilies. You see this one, it hit and broke it when it was green. That's why it started rotting immediately and became like this. As you can see, that one has a brown patch. It's green, and that one all. This one, yes, to manage to grow and ripen, but you see it was hit here. So by the way, at this point, even when we still have a lot of damages like this, we had to harvest over a ton of chili that was damaged and just discarded it. So that can be one other major setback to a farmer, which was, at least for us, and we are still recovering from that shock.
Okay, I see. If you are to compare the red chilies and the green one, which one do you think people like to consume it most?
It's like this. Red chili is demanded by a particular market abroad. Red chili pays more money. But as I told you, it takes longer to mature to become red. And when it matures to become red, that's also the longer it will take to get the other cycle of flowering and getting fresh chili again. Meaning in the year you'll harvest fewer times compared to when you do green.
Okay.
And much as it is giving you a lot of money, you'll harvest fewer times. Green is the most loved by the export market and also the consumers. This one is for a particular segment of people that want the red, fresh, but green, they normally take it in huge volumes. That's why we also prefer green, because then you are able to harvest every after 2 weeks and you harvest it well. Also, much as the people tend to want to consume when something is red, that's when it is ripe. But in cooking, most people find when they're even in salads, they cut. You'll always see that it is green chili, the green chili that they put in.
Yeah.
And so I would say that the green chili really is much more creative than the red.
Okay. I believe there are some other people also outside there who always fear eating this chili, because there are some people who are not used to eating chili. So what are some of the benefits that we get from eating chilies?
Okay. Chili is very rich in multi, I'll not tell you this particular that and that, but all the medical doctors will say that chili is very healthy for your body. Go and eat it up. And what I remember is that during COVID, it was loved so much because when you eat something hot like chili, it makes your body sweat, and therefore you end up sweating. And it had a way it was helping people that were or trying to prevent people, not prevent, but I think playing a key role in preventing people from getting, I think, COVID-19 and so forth, because they would put a chili, put in some ginger and plus other things. So that's how I see chili. But in terms of cooking, it is a spice that is liked most. I call it a spice that's liked most to be cooked, and you find that certain communities like it more in Uganda than the others, and some will use it in a particular delicacy than the other. But in Uganda, you'll see that generally the love for hot food is not that much, but people are beginning to pick it up. But for the other international community that is within Uganda, you find they're consuming it a lot. But as I told you, we grow it mainly for the export market.
For the export market?
Yes.
All right, I see. There are some other chilies that you see them just drying up. I believe, like in some other crops, you can notice it when something is infected.
Yes.
So how long does it take for an infected chili to show signs?
Actually, some of these ones, even after transplanting as it grows, you'll see one plant is growing quite healthy, but the other one somehow is not as vigorous and aggressive like the other. Then you start sensing, much as it will even grow, it is giving you fruit, but even the fruit it is giving you is not as healthy. You find we come in, we try to spray, but you find there's no change. So when I got in touch with the agronomists from the ministry, including the agronomists from the company, exporting companies that we work with, they told me it is a virus. That's the word they used.
Okay.
And they told me that it does not have any cure. The best solution is to uproot before it infects, because I think maybe when bees come and they pollinate this one, they end up also transfer. Yes, and that's how it gets on infecting the other ones. So they always advise that we just shake off the soil there, and then carry it without allowing all the soil to go on dropping, and throw it away, and then you keep on. So we did that. We did that for this garden, but I think unfortunately this part of the land maybe has some many virus, or this kind of virus that has been affecting this chili, and that's why you find that the garden is really it has changed a bit, and so we've decided to take a deliberate action not to harvest from this part of the garden.
Okay.
Yes.
So it means these, like some of these that are drying up, this could be also infection, or they're just old?
No, this one drying up like this, if you see it on top like this is hailstorm that affected it.
Okay, that's hailstorm.
There are those ones which are going to grow and start dry properly, and then you just know it is basically aging. You see that one?
Okay.
Now that's an example. You see it is very healthy, but by the time it is red and fresh to be picked, we don't have an order. You can only come to pick when you have an order. And by the time you come to pick, you find this one which was red and fresh, after 3-4 days it's drying up. So you leave it. You only go for that one now, which will have turned red, fresh, and really very attractive to the eye, like this one.
So with chilies, you only harvest it on order.
Yes, you only harvest for order. The only other one which you can harvest and dry is what they call the African bird's eye. The tiny ones are traditional small chilies.
Okay.
Those ones, you normally grow them, harvest, dry and package and wait for the market for those who want it. It also, the demand is so high, but it's normal. It's not people don't like growing it because it's so hot. Even when you're harvesting, it burns your fingers. Even when you eat, even if you wash how, you cannot get rid of that bitterness.
No.
You're eating food, you're eating chili, it can take even up to 3 days. So that one, people don't normally go for it so much.
So what's the difference between this and the other tiny one that we used to know?
Okay, I would say that maybe this is more of a hybrid.
Okay.
Because this I planted by getting it from the circuits, and it was brought all the way from Malaysia, according to these agro shops that sell them in Kampala. If you go to Container Village, and then the other, when you go to some of these exporting companies, they'll be able to refer you to some of these. And so, but the other one is our traditional small, African bird's eye. And they call it the birds like. By the way, another challenge with this chili, birds like chili so much, they eat it up, especially the small ones. And I think that explains why we don't see birds just falling sick anyhow. There's no hospital particularly for birds and so forth. They can eat that tiny bitter thing like it is sweet. You see?
And they're cured.
Yes. So I think that's one of the tricks when people, especially naturalists or people that recommend herbal treatments and so forth, they always go for this chili. I think there's a very good secret behind it.
Yeah, just know. So you have tackled something about these challenges. Apart from birds, what else affect these?
Apart from birds, as I told you, you have the hailstorm.
Yes.
That one is natural. It comes, falls, and it ravages the whole garden. That means you have to clean the garden by harvesting and pouring away that product, and then allow it to flower again, which is quite costly. Then, of course, we have the diseases, as I've told you. This one, for instance, is a viral infection, and we have those that are fungal. We also have the pests, like the fruit fly, that likes to come and lay eggs in the flowers. So if you leave it to ripen, and if it has some eggs that are now maybe at the level of maggots or eggs, you'll find that when they take it in the lab, they might end up rejecting the whole consignment. That's why we are laying traps in the garden to be able to capture some of these stickers that come, attract these insects that get stuck on them.
Okay. And then, like, we know most of our plants here in northern Uganda are always affected, like pests like squirrels. They also feed on these chilies.
No, apparently we don't have any challenge that there may be these other bigger pests, let's say rats or rabbits that would come and ravage. No, that's why we've been able to plant it at the extreme, if you've noticed.
Yeah.
And we have quite a lot of monkeys around, and not even a monkey can tamper. It's welcome to eat as much as it can, but I know it cannot manage to eat the bitter, fruit, this bitterness. If it was maize, it would be a different topic here. But we don't have any particular pests that are really disturbing us.
Okay, growing up, we used to know that when you're going to a chilies garden, you have to dress, You have to dress and cover every part of your body.
Okay.
Because whenever you touch anything, don't even temper to touch your face or any open part of your body. Yes. Otherwise, you'll end up regretting. So for you who is watching us outside there, you can subscribe to our YouTube, and then you also check on Lad Mixed Farm so that you should know more about this chilies thing, because it's something so good. And this is a type that is not like our traditional type. It's kind of hybrid, and if you're saying they are big in size, not like the tiny chilies that we used to know in our culture. So Mr. Arthur, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.
Thank you so much.